first scrimmage. Just what was the experience like? And what
Yeah, as most scrimmages, especially early, I think defense was definitely ahead of the offense. I really liked the way the defense was flying around. Played with a lot of great energy. They're physical. Offensively, I thought even if the ball carriers was called down, we put the ball on the ground too many times. But that said, there's a lot of good things too that we had in our run game. I thought the first units, both running backs had opportunities and did some good things. We didn't, Devin didn't have live snaps today. Jalen took everything we was scheduled to do. It's good to get him in 11 on 11, blitzing situations, all of that. Lawrence Arnold got tackled for the first time really since last season, since he got hurt last spring. Keaton Quebec was out there. I was really happy. I think Trevor Wilson's put together some good days. Defensively, Dean Miller I thought showed up. DJ Warner I thought had a few plays. Tommy Dunn was very active. Again, I thought the linebacker crew showed up. Logan Brantley runs sideline to sideline, plays hard. So a lot of good things.
How much can Jalen benefit from getting live action like this, just considering the amount of football he's played in the last year?
Well, that's a balancing act right now for us. We got to get him back in sync and do it. But he's, like I said, to get all the bodies around him and get used to that and those things. But again, it needs to be good load management. I think they use that word in the NBA or something like that. I think we might borrow it or something for this year.
What can Trevor Wilson give you at receiver?
Well, again, Trevor's one of the fastest guys on this team. He's a veteran in many ways. Obviously, you know what he's done in the return game for us. He's not the tallest, but he's a really good threat on the outside as well as on the inside, and that gives us some vertical stretches. We can run reverses with him and stuff, but a lot of things, and he and Torrey Loughlin don't get mentioned nearly enough, but they're very consistent and again will be used often. And I thought Keaton Quebec probably had his, he's been a little slowed by a hamstring, and I thought he had a couple catches, and so again the depth of that position will continue to get better.
How did the in-helmet communication go?
Yeah, good. I think I haven't heard a lot. We're still working through. Our practice headsets aren't the same as our game ones. We had the game ones at Children's Mercy, didn't have them tonight, so we're working on between play sheets and whatever with you. But I haven't heard any major issues from the guys or coaches about it, and it's sometimes and I'm flipping back and forth, but I haven't heard any issues like didn't get the call or not hearing it. So
did you get a look at any of the place kickers tonight?
Yeah, we kicked a couple field goals. I think we kicked 4 of them. I think Charlie was 1 for 2. I couldn't tell if he made that last one. I don't think he did. Owen had one there. Tabor had one as well. So continue to be, I like the competition, and sometimes like what they say, if you're rotating, I think we have 3. I really do, and so it'll continue to shape up.
You like the way guys are flying around? Did anybody stand out at linebacker?
Well, like I said, JB's continued to play really well. I thought, Cornell might have played some of his best. Again, like I said, Logan Brantley, and those are probably the ones a little bit. I don't want to take away because I saw Taiwan early in the practice as well. So, again, that group is, like I said, I like their confidence now, and we continue to look for that leadership that we lost from Rich, and Rich was kind of the guy that always made it right, and could get the call, but also something was, he was really good at making the gaps sound and things like that. So those other guys continue to get that confidence of being the leader on the field as well, and I think they've done a fine job.
Who stood out of the guys that you picked up out of the portal this offseason?
Geez, I gotta remember who they are first. Yeah,
I was thinking about Javier.
I ain't getting any younger now. Javier, continues to work. He'll rotate in there. He gives us some quickness in the interior line. Amir, Amir's going to help this team in his time. When that'll happen, I'm not sure. But he's a thick body inside guy who's last week we kind of emergency put him in at center. We're playing him center and guard. He'll be fine. Bryce continues to play well. Shane Baumgartner's a guy that is, you know, it's going to be a good battle. I see both of them can play there. Like I said, then, you know, Bryce can play a guard as well. So I think Daryl Simmons has played really, really well for us. He's gotten in better shape. He's stronger. You know, he's kind of injured his wrist last spring. So all those guys, I think they're all going to help. Dylan Woodkey's guy showed up tonight. He, you know, he's going to play the run really well for us. Kind of a guy that will rotate with Jeremy.
When you get a chance to have a scrimmage like this, how does it affect the way you approach the rest of fall camp?
Well, these are just scheduled ones. You know, we're rotating them in. As you can see, we're on 4-day cycles. We really like this schedule. We try to get the fourth practice of that cycle at night. They get a day off tomorrow. They'll have a team activity. We'll show them the film, and then let them. You know, they're going to head to Kansas City. And then so they get a longer rest before they came out tonight from yesterday's practice, and then they get tomorrow off, and then we're back out. So, you know, we'll have 2 more scrimmages, maybe some live periods sprinkled in between in practice. So, you know, got to tackle. You know, it's hard because you're trying to keep guys healthy and you want to be fundamentally sound and doing all these things, but you're still going to have to tackle people in this game, and that's one of the things you don't want to be getting away from you in the first part of the season.
If I'm counting right, I think it's 8 practices in. Just how do you feel about the team overall at this point in time?
I like where we're at. You know, I always say from my chair, it's like, okay, if you're good in one area, you start worrying about the other side. I think there's been flashes on days and segments by each side of the ball. And we got a lot of work to do yet, and that's exciting. I like the attitude of the team. They embrace being coached, and they want to get better, and they know that to do some of the things they want to try to get done this year, we got to stay after it.
What about that backup quarterback spot with Jalen and Cole battling there?
What, Isaiah and you know, again, they're both playing well. The early enrollment of Isaiah Marshall has definitely helped, but you know, Cole keeps, you know, again, he continues to work on the areas where he's been. He's got a lot of command. I've said it all along. I like the depth of our quarterback position.
Do you hear much from the guys about practicing and getting ready to play on grass? I mean, I know a lot of guys prefer that.
Well, they've noticed it from the spring. They talked about it. We tried to condition more on it a little bit in the summer. And right now, 8 practices in. I think if I said this right, I think we've been on turf twice. So, and they really like it. I probably start asking more questions again, how their legs feel. But, we're going to play on grass, so we're going to try it all at home and more games than ever before. So, totally this year. So we're going to try to be on as much as we can, at least until school starts.
All right.